Hello out there, world. This is a message from Mike at the Credit Game directly. My name is David, last name is Stanley. I'm putting out my real name because I know you don't use yours. I've talked to a couple people that are actually disgruntled by their investments to you, from going back to your prior companies such as wholesale trade lines. You actually had them invest and basically become partners with you to go ahead and sell trade lines at a discount rate. And you short sold those accounts, actually not making that or sharing that information to these investors, leaving them high and dry. Another problem I think with this is, like, I'm not going to go back in your past or what happens. I'm going to give a link in this description where you can hear stories from other people. If you are an investor in any way or form or been part of the programs from, like, you know, the Maserati program to the Lambo program, because I'm a Lambo investor, $3,000 plus. Anything I'm going to say right now, I challenge anyone to reach out to me directly and I'll talk to you on the phone. I'll do more than Mike can do for me, for you. Save your money. Don't invest in this guy. You know, he talks about all his videos. If you haven't noticed, been watching for a while, they seem to change. They get less and less of information going on for the credit stabilization. Now, mind you, in fairness to Mike, he doesn't promise a credit sweep or wipe. He promises basically that he has a software that's proprietary with algorithms that challenge the 3 credit bureaus to help them adapt an idea of whether that credit can be challenged or not. Now, in my particular case, I've had credit cards before their issues. I've had also medical debt. I have a child with special needs. So you think I have $3,000 plus just to waste, obviously, with like what goes on with my son. It's not okay. Again, limited. I'm a working professional. I do have money. But at the same point, you know, for a credit game to go in and say, hey, we took this amount, we bought it for pennies on the dollar, we're charging this amount, it is wrong. So Mike was kind of like a safe haven to look at, of direction to follow. Everything he has is clickbait. You click on it, he gives you some information. Is the information correct? Mike is knowledgeable in many ways, but a 50-50 marker depending on how you do your part. I didn't have the time, so I bought into the Lambo program, as he puts it, as accelerated within 45 days. My mission with him started back probably, I would say back probably at the end of maybe somewhere around the last second to the last week, third week of May there, of 2021. Now, I had this guy, Alan, who was helping me out, who was really nice at first, willing to like work out a deal and, hey, you know, let's get your money pro. I'm like, no, I listen to Mike because Mike says, get rid of the car, get rid of the crappy car, hell, challenge even paying your rent, invest in this, can be a better place you can live in, right? Everything he's ever said. I have all the videos saved on thumb drive, so you can't just erase them or disappear them as they go, because that's what Mike tends to do. He got really soft in pushing these programs, and now it's basically like an academy program, or like a doctorate program where he's choosing like 10, 11 at a time. There's always a number. You know, I'm running out. I have 5 seats, 10 seats, whatever. Same way I got suckered into the Lambo program. I paid my $3,000 plus, and then I find as I call, they want me to invest $25 into a credit monitoring company per month, which I was unaware of at the time, and monitor it and check it. So then there's this video that Mike sends along with it when you get this, of how to check this and look at it properly and how to read it, this report, which is like any company report out there. You know, if you have like bit program through FICO, or you have other credit repair companies that Mike doesn't want to mention that are legit, that actually have people to talk to you and respond back to you and make inquiries without attitude. You know, I mean, that's probably where you want to go for like Equifax and those kind of things, because they are legit. They are pretty much the representations to it. Mike is the challenge. He's the counselor in between. So paying the counselor in between to challenges, nothing has gotten done or has happened past that point. My file was actually started a week later. It took him a week to get all the information together. Here we are now. We are officially at 90 days or shy of 90 days here in 4 days. 90 days. Nothing. My credit score was at a 590, okay? Most places won't even rent to you unless you're at 650 and above, and 650 to 700, they still want some sort of like a higher deposit. Mike talks about living the good life, even though it's a rental Lambo that's not even his. He talks about this great life, and not the boat he rides in the video is not his, it's his friends. Let me help you out. In the state of California, we're one of 9 states. 9 states will not allow you to pay upfront for credit repair unless that credit repair is completed. I paid the full amount up front, all right? With that inclusive, I get the time with Mike once a week for meeting of the minds, that kind of thing. Master mindset meeting he has on Mondays, every Monday. Basically, it's investment ideas of how to make money to get money is all it comes down to. It's not really about the credit part. Mike shows you how to make money. Now, I'm not saying that it's not all legit, There's great ideas in there, I guess. For some point, I've only attended one. I won't even respectively go into the rest of them because I got irritated because I thought to myself, well, nothing's really happening. Because I looked at my credit report and saw that nothing was being challenged. I would have had a better chance of writing my own letter, sending it off myself, and getting a response back to them before Mike's team could even move on anything. That's how sad this is. So if I'd have known that, I'd have saved my money and done my own time on this, which I didn't have. Well, now I'm spending time doing this, trying to track down Mike. So basically, you take the idea of what he has and what he's trying to sell. So that company is called Elite Deletions, based in Georgia. Checked with Georgia. Contacts out there, law enforcement. I got a family member that's even actually at a higher level of federal enforcement. They tell me in that state, according to the state general there, also attorney general, credit companies are not allowed to operate in the state of Georgia. So let's take this one back. Mike decides to separate himself from his own company, Elite Deletions, which exists actually in Georgia, then to take that company that responds back to a P.O. box line and a phone number that goes back to a number they called me back from. And that number goes to Florida in a building that he's in that his wife owns, where he conducts all his, what I call, I want to say short of a boiler room call center, right? I say this because Alan, the guy I talked to, was all nice and dandy. When I started writing reports and inquiries, he got attitude with me. His mentality was, why are you calling me? That was the attitude. I'm like, because you signed me on, you took my money, and there was no talk about trade lines, credit report information, how to challenge anything. We just went with what you had. So what he does is he tells me this, and he goes, oh, I can start an inquiry for you. Well, that's great. It's been 90 days. What we should be talking about is my investment I made to you and a job not getting done that Mike, your boss, promised. Granted, right? Doesn't happen that way. So I started doing some research as I get this generated email back, and now Alan's not even responding to me, right? And this email generation says, we're going to start another inquiry. Most clients basically see some results within 45 days, no more than 60, but it's unusual to see this type of activity happen in your account. We'll be diligent and do this again for you. It's like, it's just a generated piece of crap. So I watch more videos, okay? Watch more videos than other people complaining about what's going on. Some are nice, some are very direct, some are very angry. This is not angry. I'm heightening the position of the fact that I made an investment on a promise to this guy that he said he'd keep, but he didn't. So let's go back again. California law was broken. You took a full amount of money from me on goods of items that you didn't deliver, hence being the credit being cleaned up, or the credit having some items removed and not one has been removed, or you challenging them, which you did not. 2, you have another business, fictitious business, okay, that's operating as a credit company inside the state of Georgia, which is illegal. 3rd, that actually has a call center that goes right back to basically someone's house that picks up the phone of a very nice lady and says, how can I help you today? And I ask the question, are you based in Georgia? Oh, we are. You probably are because you're paid to pick up the phone and answer it. The reality is the call centers that call me back at are coming out of Florida. I'm very confused by this, right? You start saying shell organization. It's not even that big for him. It's just, it makes no sense, right? So I start calling around, finding out some stuff. My buddy's law enforcement in Florida sends me back this rap sheet on Mike from 10 years ago when he was arrested for fraud. Mike's not even his real name. It goes on and on and on and on. I could care less because that's your past. People make mistakes. I totally understand it. I totally get it. But you're selling the idea of something, and then you come back in videos later when you realize the numbers are against you, Mike, and you start saying things like, I'm not a credit repair agency. Well, that's great. You should say that up front on every video. What you should do is take the information that you're giving out and charge people for that information. Give them a tidbit, charge them for that education if they want to pay for education. But I didn't pay for education. I can get the education myself. I paid for your proprietary standard of software, your algorithms that would challenge all 3 credit bureaus, and your 45-day promise. You've broken your word. You've broken the contract. I have filed paperwork with my bank. I have filed paperwork with law enforcement, and now I'm going to jump on the bandwagon with the rest of the guys with the FBI. Mike, you're running out of time. It's disingenuous of you to make such promises, and what I would suggest to you, if you really want to avoid the whole situation, what's happening before you find yourself in court civilly and criminally, I would do this. I'd ask the question to everybody directly, do you want to stay in the program? And I would give back half their money if they stay in the program, $1,500 back in good faith, and say it may take 1, 2, or up to 3 years maximum before your credit can get repaired. And let them decide if they want to make that investment in education past that point, to learn the education that you have, that you claim that you have, okay? But if not, you should give a full refund for what you're not providing to do. And the worst part about it is, Mike, is that people have been calling you and calling you and calling you and emailing you and getting messages to your crew, and it's all the same thing, Mike. You dodged the bullet. And why? Because I try to even leave responses on your YouTube videos because I'm not going away. I'll keep leaving more and more and more. But I know now you're denying them. You're actually approving your messages. And I'm tracking down actually through another person through our IT team where I work, which I'm not going to disclose. But the IT team has discovered that people are leaving these great messages about you, and the comment section are coming out of your office, and your employees. We've already tracked it down. Mike, you are like being a fool in many ways. You're running a fool's errand. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You have a great education system. You need to figure out how to package that and sell that, okay? Not sit here and figure out what's a better scam 10 years later from being arrested for the first thing that I did wrong, and the second screwing over the investors for my past company for wholesale trade lines, then trying to repackage it with a better smile and how well you can talk and how fast you can talk, and realize that you are running out of time. You are going to be criminally prosecuted. Mike, stop and figure out what you can do to help the people you have as your customers now. Your claims that I helped hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. Maybe in motivation, but they don't have SECDP programs in other countries. They don't have these things. So your talks that you're talking about and claiming are false, okay? You are a short of a scam artist. And to me, scam artist might be worse than liar. I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm not going to call you a scam artist, but you're short of that. You're flirting with it. From one professional to another, make your promises right, Mike. Make your yeses and your no's your no's. Because what's going to happen is someone who you took money from, who could barely stretch it out to make finances and ends meet, okay, because of COVID or anything else, whatever it may be that put them offset, you're telling them to give up everything and invest in you so you can invest in them. That is so disingenuous from one businessman to another, and I don't consider you a businessman. I really don't. You're like a snake oil charmer at this point, Mike. It'd be your best interest to call me or contact me directly because these videos are not going to stop. And as far as those lawyering up, I have lawyers. I do. I have them at a phone call away. I mean, do you have lawyers? I'm sure you do. And you figured out how to get the law as far as you can to bend it without breaking it, because that's what the best lawyers do. But the one thing they can't keep you from is what you're doing from state to state to state. You should have just kept this business in Florida screwing those people over. As sad as that sounds. Because the moment you crossed state lines and did this, it became federal. So I wish you the best, Mike. I hope you make it right. Because right now, I'm at 590. Nothing has changed. No inquiry challenges popped up on any 3 credit bureaus. You've chosen not to call me back. So now I'm reaching out to everybody else right now that had the same problem that I did, but worse, and have filed paperwork, because I'm going there next. So I wish you the best. The credit game is a joke and a scam. Do not invest. Don't do it. He lost his contacts at all the 3 credit bureaus that were basically helping him erase stuff. It's gone. He has no other way but now to basically take his education and think at another level, and basically how to charge and make money off of that education process. And he's just blowing off like the investment credit part like it doesn't exist. He's doing the same thing to us that he did to his friends, his investors, with wholesale trade lines. Wake up, people. There's plenty of other guys out there that show you for free how to challenge the credit system and how to do it with paperwork and mail. It's a long trail. Make the time to do it, because this time he's costing me to go back and try to track down my $3,000 plus is insane. Please comment, like, dislike, comment back. I actually will respond back, unlike Mike. And I won't block your comments. I really won't. If Mike wants to have all his employees just slam me on YouTube and send all these messages that he can, dislikes and comments, oh, he helped me, Mike, then I'll go back and I'll have my IT guys just basically post up your employees on there too that are doing it, show it's the same person making the comments. Because that's what you're about. You're about dodge, deflect, and take the money away from people. That's what you're good at doing, Mike. So good luck to you, Mike, Sean, whatever your name is. I wish you the best. God bless everybody else, and don't waste your money.